Let me just preface this video by saying that I usually don't go out and buy anything new. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, you know I do surplus. I shoot with a lot of older weapons. So this is a little bit different for me. It's just really hard nowadays to actually find an item that just isn't a complete gimmick or just another way to shake the money out of your pocket, which we all know those exist. We see them all the time. But I think this item, and for the price, it's pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll right into it. So let's just start at the very top here. What is a Woobie hoodie? A Woobie hoodie is essentially a poncho liner that has been turned into a sweatshirt or a coat, and it retains that same sort of pattern as the Woobie's known for. But to me, this is less a Woobie and more of just an updated M65 field jacket liner, which already had the same materials as the Woobie. I guess what's old is new again. Now, the Woobie is renowned for its level of insulation, its weight, its quick dry capabilities, and overall its comfort. So it makes a lot of sense to want to turn one of these into a sweatshirt or a coat. So the Woobie hoodie I went with came from Venture Surplus. It turns out it is made by a company called Woobie Gear. If you go to their website, you'll see a lot of options of other things made out of Woobies, coats, jackets, ponchos, all that kind of stuff. But it seems they definitely know what they're doing, or at least whoever they import from knows what they're doing, because it's a pretty well-made item. After I got this, I looked it over, and I found absolutely no issues with seams or sewing or materials. Everything seems to be correctly sewn, correctly placed. Everything fits as it should. And their size chart actually is legitimate, which is kind of a rare thing nowadays. A lot of those are kind of iffy. So, how about the fit? Well, after putting it on, I found that it fit perfectly, and it's incredibly comfortable, as I kind of expected it to be. But the cuffs, they fit very nice. They are snug against my wrist, not too tight. It has a band around the waist to stop it from rising up. You'll find pockets in the front, or a pocket on this model. This one is a pullover style, so there's no zipper, but they do make them with or without zippers. There is a hood. The hood has a simple drawstring, and I have mine in Ranger Green, but they come in an absolutely crazy amount of colors. So let's get down to what everyone's wondering. How did it actually perform in an outside environment? Well, actually, quite well. It's definitely quite warm. The insulation does work, and I feel very comfortable out here moving around in a snowy, sub 30 degree environment, even wearing a plate carrier, dragging myself through bushes, brush, snow, no problems at all. Now, what really surprised me was the water resistance of this Woobie hoodie. It turns out these are coated with DWR, and water, for the most part, does beat off. It's only resistant, though, so after enough snow melted, it would eventually seep in, but that actually did take a little while, and I was impressed that a underlayer like this was able to last that long exposed to the elements. But even after getting wet, this is where one of the benefits of the Woobie come from. It's extremely fast drying, and sure enough, after enough walking around, it did dry itself out. And that kind of brings me to where this fits in my kit. Well, to me, it kind of works just like my anorak does. It is a standalone item for when I'm moving, hiking, getting into position. But once I get there, I'll let it dry, and then I will throw my Gore-Tex parka or my M65 over it. And I think that's where this item shines, and that's where this item belongs at in a kit. It works as a standalone, but it's nothing I want to actually go out and survive solely in. I still want to have that hard layer on the outside, and using this underneath is a great idea. I think if you're looking for a pretty solid mid layer that can also function as a coat for movement or coat for activities around the camp, this can be hard to beat, especially for 60 bucks. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good deal. And you name it, they make it in that pattern. I've seen everything from Rhodesian brushstroke to coyote to Sumpftarn. I think that's a German camouflage, but whatever you want, they pretty much make it. So you guys who may already have the M65 field jacket liner, this is essentially just an updated version of that. So you've got your cuffs, you've got your exterior pockets, you've got your hood, and you've got a elastic band around your waist as well to help that from rising up. But if you enjoy the M65 field jacket liner, this is simply an updated version. It's more improved for a standalone idea, but I think it's great. If you need something that's a liner for your heavier coat, grab this.